I decided this year I'd do some vertical gardening. I never have done it in the past in all my years of gardening. I've always planted in the ground or in a raised bed or in a container. So I started looking around online at some of the products available and even some of the do-it-yourself type things made. And I really didn't like anything I saw. I just didn't meet the criteria that I wanted for one reason or another. So I decided just to come up with my own plan. This is my prototype here. What I'm using is your regular 6-foot fence pickets. And what I've done, I've taken and cut it in half. I'm going to have one on each side here. And I've taken a food grade Firehouse bucket, Firehouse sub bucket, put a lot of holes in the bottom, and I added a shim board here because of the ribs on the bucket here to get the vertical board straight, nice and straight and vertical. So I'll show you exactly how I attach these. It's easier to attach these before you attach the board to the bucket. I found that out on my prototype here when I was doing that. But here's one that I'm working on here. I've got two more to attach here. I've taken my little electric soldering iron. I put 2 holes in the top and of course some drain holes in that bottom. Now the soldering iron works really good for that. And then I take a Sharpie, a pointed Sharpie, and mark exactly where I want the holes. And that makes it a little easier to get the screws started. So I'll go ahead and attach this one here. Pardon the crow in the background. He's probably looking for me to go out there and give him something to eat. So I'll get these holes started here. Yeah, I hear you. All right, so there you go. Got that one started. I still need to paint this one here, but I'm using the Rust-Oleum high gloss, especially made for plastic. Works really well. And I just had a little bit left in the can, and it did a good job on painting all 8 of these. These are just the regular drink containers. This one held some water, and I think they're going to work just fine for what I'm going to do here. I'm planning on building several of these to put out there in the garden area. Get the screws in there, and here comes the sunshine. These screws are like 1.25 inches, so I put them on a little bit of an angle so they don't come through the back of the board here. Now it's ready to attach to the bucket, and we'll show you how we do that here. Stand this up over here for a second and take the bucket and always make sure the containers face the inside of the bucket. I've got them on the wrong side already and have to take it apart, but just like that. And I usually put about at least 3 screws. 4 or 5 would be better, I think. Get it even there. Okay. I also did remove the handles from the bucket. I didn't really see a need for them to be on there. It's a little tricky to do that, but I managed to get them off. Whoops. All right, now I've got the sides attached. Grab this bucket that fell off. On this top one, I burnt the holes a little bigger because I want to be able to take them off in case I need to clean them out for some reason or another. This is going to hold a nutrient that I'll talk about here in a minute. And I also need to put this top board in here. This kind of holds these two together here. Gives it a little support. Like that. And one more on this side. Oh, I already got it started there. Okay. Just like that. And that kind of brings them together and gives it a lot of support there at the top. And there it is. I had some concerns about this possibly tipping over. Highly unlikely by the time I get all my soil in there in that 5-gallon bucket. But just to give it a little more weight, I took a nice chunk of rock and I put that in the bottom. And then by the time I put all my soil in there and the plants and a little bit of water, that's going to really make it bottom heavy rather than top heavy. Also, I will, of course, put my composted soil in these for the plants. Now, what I use for these top containers, you probably heard of the product called Black Cow, and it's a good product. But I chose to make my own, and I call it actually Black Hen. I get it out of my chicken runs, where I put in forest products like dead leaves, coffee grounds, all kinds of composted things, and it worked really well. So what I do with this is I'll fill these up with this, and then add my liquid, and it'll trickle down and feed the plants. And I'll show you how easy that is. You can see how easy this is going to be to roll around. It's going to be very portable. Just swing it around like this, and I can move it just about anywhere I need to put it. I'll probably put it in an area where it gets a little bit of sun and a little bit of shade too. I've got strawberries in here now, and I'll show you the concoction I make to feed them. It's a compost tea, they call it. Coffee grounds, ground up eggshells, banana peels, and what I do is I've got my Black Hen soil in here, and I'll feed them whenever it's necessary, depending on the weather, of course. But I'll pour that in there, and then you can see how I'll bring the camera over here so you can see a little better there what's going on. You can see how it drips down, and everything gets watered really well. So I think it's going to work really well. I've got some lettuce coming up here now, but what I like about this is that I can put a lot of root crops in the bottom here, like carrots and so on, and then have these for things like my strawberries that are coming on now. So I think they're going to work really well. So thanks for watching, and I'll keep you posted as far as how things are going with these, with my homemade garden tower. Total cost is probably less than $10. $3 bucket and a couple dollars for the wood. The plastic containers, of course, the drink containers, recycled. They're no cost there. And I do grow my own strawberry plants from seed. I'll do a video on that someday to show you how I grow those plants from seed. So thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting the channel. Florida Grizz here. Lord willing, and the creek don't rise. We will see you on the next one.